has been a long time since I sat down and filmed a video like this. I missed being here and I missed sharing a quiet moment with you. There is a reason I haven't been able to film very much lately. For the past few months, I've been studying for a national caregiver certification here in Korea. I completed 320 hours of training. I attended classes at a training center. I studied from textbooks, and I also completed practical training at a long-term care hospital. After finishing all of that, I was finally able to take the certification exam, and a month ago, I received the result. I passed. I'm officially a certified caregiver now. It still feels a little strange to say that out loud. I didn't talk about it while I was studying. I think I wanted to keep it quiet until I had finished everything. There were days when I felt tired. There were days when I studying felt unfamiliar. And there were moments when I wondered whether I would really be able to complete it. But somehow one class became another class. One day became another day. And eventually I reached the end. While I was studying, I learned a lot about aging. I learned about the change that can happen to the body. I learned about the kind of support a person may need as they grow older. And even while I was only reading about these things in a textbook, I felt something heavy inside me. I started thinking about what it means to grow old. I started thinking about losing strength, losing independence, needing help with things that once felt simple. To be honest, those thoughts frightened me, but the feeling became much more real when I started my practical training. On my first day at the long-term care hospital, I met older adults who needed help with many parts of their daily life. Some people couldn't move without assistance. Some needed help getting out of bed. Some needed support with eating, bathing, or personal care. These are such ordinary parts of life. Most of us don't think about them very much while we can still do them alone. But suddenly I was standing in a place where those small, ordinary things mattered so much. My first day felt emotionally heavy. I went on thinking about everything I had seen. I thought about the people I had met, and I thought about myself. There was one thought that kept returning to me. Time moves. No matter what happens, time continues to move. It doesn't stop when we are busy. It doesn't stop when we are happy. And it doesn't stop when we are afraid. One day, I will grow older too. The people I love will grow older. All of us are moving through time together. At first, that thought felt very dark to me. I felt afraid of how burned over a human life can become. But as I continued my training, I began to see the experience a little differently. The people I met were not less valuable because they needed help. Their lives were not less meaningful because their bodies had changed. If anything, I started thinking more deeply about how much dignity every person deserved, even when they cannot do everything alone, even when they cannot express everything they feel, even when their life looks very different from the life they once had. Helping with meals, bathing, and personal care made me understand how intimate and important ordinary care can be. Sometimes care is not a big speech. It is not a perfect answer. It can be something very small. Taking time, paying attention, being gentle, allowing another person to keep their dignity. By the end of my training, I didn't feel that life was meaningless because it is short. I felt the opposite. I felt that life is precious because our time is limited, and I started thinking about the way I have been living my own life. I don't mean that every day has to be perfect, and I don't think we can protect ourselves from every difficult feeling. Some days will still be painful. Some days will still be disappointing or exhausting. There will be feelings we cannot avoid. But I want to be a little kinder to myself while I am here. I want to notice when I'm tired. I want to let myself rest without feeling guilty. I want to eat food that makes my body feel cared for. myself with more patience, not because I can make life perfect, but because this life is the time I have been given. This experience also made me think about why I started creating comforting videos. At first, I thought I simply wanted to make quiet videos. I liked gentle voices. I liked the feeling of sitting with someone late at night. And I wanted to create something peaceful for people who were tired. But now I think there was another reason too. Life can feel very heavy sometimes, and we don't always need someone to give us an answer. We don't always need to be told how to fix everything. Sometimes it is enough to have a quiet voice nearby, a voice that doesn't ask too much from us, a voice that lets us be tired, a voice that doesn't need us to explain every feeling. I cannot solve someone else's life, and I don't want to pretend that I can, but I can offer a calm moment. I can sit here for a little while. I can speak gently, and maybe for a few minutes, the night can feel a little less demanding. I think that is why I keep coming back to these videos. And after completing this training, the reason feels clearer to me. Care does not always have to be dramatic. Sometimes it is simply treating another person as though their feelings matter. Sometimes it is allowing someone to move at their own pace. Sometimes it is being present without trying to change them. So that is what I have been doing while I was away. I was studying, I was learning, and I was thinking a lot about time, aging, care, and the way I want to live. I'm grateful that I passed the exam, but I think I'm even more grateful for the things the experience made me notice. I wanted to share that with you tonight. You don't have to take a lesson from my story, and you don't have to make any big decisions about your own life. You can simply listen. You can simply be here for a little while. I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad we could share this quiet moment again. Wherever you are tonight, I hope the rest of your evening feels a